Hello and welcome everyone. This is Tanvi Dutt and I'm a registered migration agent here at Aussies Group, and I've got with me Nirav Patel. He's a registered migration agent as well. We brought a very quick session for you today just to give you all an update on today's round. Now you all know that the immigration round happens every 11th of every month, and today happens to be that day as well. So basically, just to give all of you an idea about where all the occupations are sitting at, who all have already been invited, who all have who still have to wait, and how long would you guys will have to wait for your occupation and with your point score. So what I'll do is I'll have Nirav take over to start with the pro rata occupations, and then we'll go from there. All right, and what I'll do is I'll say we'll take a few questions at the end, but just hold your questions so that at least we give you all the information, and then at the end of the session we'll be happy to answer your questions if you have any. So
yes, thank you, Tanvi. So as Tanvi said, like today is the invitation round. So immigration has invited like a few of the people yesterday night, and it seems that like they didn't invite as per their previous rounds, like 2,500 total for 189 and the 489 family sponsor. But it seems that they invited like around 800 to 1,000 invitation, but official figures will be coming up in next few weeks. It might take more time because we are also waiting for the invitation statistics for October and November, so they didn't update their round yet. So we are just giving you a basic idea like based on the invitation we have received in Aussies. So first of all, like for an accountant, we can start. So they have invited an accountant with 80 points, but they didn't invite, I think, many applicants for accountant because they invited up to around the end of August for an accountant with 80, but not, and that was the same similar to the previous round on 11th November, where they have invited around mid of August. So not much progress for an accountant, and it's the same as like for an external auditor, because for an external auditor as well, it's similar to accounting time. Okay, now for an electronics engineer, so for electronics engineer they have invited like up to 70 points in the previous rounds, like around September or maybe in the August, but after that like they started to invite with 75, and they keep continuing with the 75 points for the electronics engineering as well. And for mechanical, they have invited with the 70 points. So mechanical like production engineer occupations, they have invited with 70, and the waiting time is like around 6 months. So if you have applied before like April this year or something, you might have get the invitation. If you have applied after that, you need to wait a couple of months like before you get the invitation. And for IT occupations, so they have like software engineer, a developer, programmer, analyst, programmer. So they're still at 70. They didn't reach to 75. So that means that there are not many applicants having 75. So the waiting time is around 6 months for those occupations, like in software engineering and programming. While like on the business analyst and the system analyst, the points system like it's still 70, and they have invited at 70 in the last round as well. 75 for the business analyst and the system analyst. But for the computer network system engineer, it's 70 points. So they have invited 70 in the last round, and they keep continuing the 70 in this round as well. So for business analyst and system analyst, you need to try to get to 75 so that you can get the invitation. The waiting time is like around 3 months for business analyst and system analyst, and for the computer network system engineer it's around 6 months. So apart from the engineering, mechanical, electronics, they have other engineering groups like engineering technologies and other engineering which doesn't have specific occupation in their 189 occupation list. So for that as well, they have invited around 75. So you need to try to get 75 to get an invitation early, or you need to try see if you have other options for like state or the regional applications. Now I would advise Tanvi to discuss about the non-pro rata occupations like nursing or a few IT occupations in the like non-pro rata, and like for the trade occupations. Yes, Tanvi.
Thank you, Nirav. So as you mentioned, they've given out a lot less invitations this time as compared to the previous round. The confirmation, official confirmation is yet to come, but by the data that we have actually assessed from our company, we found that there are not too many invitations that have come out. So as Nirav mentioned, total of 800 invitations, roundabouts that has been invited in total. And then what they've done is they've divided them equally, 400 and 400. So the total of 400 invitations have been given out to all the pro rata invitations, as Nirav mentioned, all the pro rata occupations. And similarly, for all the other occupations which fall in the non-pro rata category, such as nurses, registered nurse, then we've got ICT security specialists, we've got analyst programmers, we've got telecommunication engineer, we've got chef, we've got all the other trade occupations, and then many more, teachers, etc. They've all been they're getting invitation at 70 points, and they still have to wait a month at least to get invited. If they keep continuing the reduced number of invitations, that weight might increase, but we'd yet to see if the point score stays the same or it goes up. We were hoping for that to go down to 65. That's what it looked like, but now since they've given out a lot less invitations, so the non-pro rata occupations, all the occupations which are not the ones that Nirav mentioned, they're all in the non-pro rata list. They're all sitting at 70 points and then a wait period of at least a month. So I would suggest for all the people who are just barely making it to the point score, or else they are 5 points less, target 5 points higher than what your occupation is sitting at, because if in case the point score goes up, at least you will have an option to get invited in the next round or probably in the following round. Also, I would suggest keep brushing up your English, because that's one place where you can get your a big jump of 10 points or 20 points depending on what your score is. So at the end of the day, aim for the higher point score, and even if it is like the point score sitting lower than what you actually have, which that means that you would get invited immediately in the next round, which is coming 11th of the next month. So the next round that we'd have is going to be on the 11th of January.
Yes, that's correct.
For all the people whose visas are nearing the expiry, they're coming to an end around that time, then I would say you should start looking for options. You should come see us so that at least we can assess your profile and see there might be something that you guys are missing out on, and then you might be able to get an invitation sooner, or else if there's any other option that is available on your profile. What we'll do is we'll take a few questions now, Nirav, right?
So we will be taking a few questions. So if you have any questions during this session, you can ask in the comments, and I will be requested to share this video with your friends. So even if they have any questions, they can ask in the comments, so you can take your friends as well over there. So first question, not a question, but the applicant requesting for their contact. So you can get our contact details from our Facebook page and from our website, and you can visit our nearest office for your inquiry. Now, next question is from Situ Narinder, and he's asking us about residency pathway for 461 visa. And so 461 visa is for the New Zealand citizen partner application. So if you're married with a New Zealand citizen, and if you're in Australia, you can apply for the 461 visa for that. That's valid for 5 years. But if you want to apply for the permanent residency for Australia, then you need to go to the normal pathways, try to get points or try to get employer sponsorship or something. So based on that only you can get a permanent residency. There is no specific pathway for the New Zealand 461 visa holder, but they can keep renewing their 461 visa until you are partner with New Zealand citizen holder. So we'll be going for the next question.
So the next question is from Navdeep Singh. Navdeep says, sorry, questions just moved up, bear with me. So Navdeep wanted to ask about procedure if someone wants to apply for Australia for school, like for grade 6. Do you deal with that? Yes, we can help you with that. We've got a team of expert education agents, and we've got a big pool of institutes, colleges and schools under our banner. So we would actually encourage you to come see one of our branches, just see one of our education agents, and we'd be able to assist you with that for sure.
Yeah, so next question we are having from Hussein Mohammadi, and he's asking us about having 75 points as an accountant and with 1 year of experience, what's the option in New South Wales. So you can apply for a New South Wales state nomination 190 expression of interest as an accountant, but they are inviting at 85 points. So even if you have an experience in New South Wales, they don't give any priority for someone who has an experience in their state. So for New South Wales specifically, they require you to have higher points. So ultimately you need to try to get your points to 85. So you need to try to increase 5 points in 189. So you will reach to 85 automatically with 5 points from the state. So if you're just waiting with 75 points in the New South Wales, then we recommend you to increase your points and try to check your other options for different states.
Yeah. The next one is from Neha Sharma. Neha wants to know how about 489 family sponsored for accountants with 70 points plus 10 from the family. Neha, all the pro rata occupations, they would usually actually pick the 189 applications before they will move on to 489. Less likely that you will get invited if you have 70 points and then you're expecting 10 points from your family. If you are hoping to get invitation for 489 family sponsored for accountancy, then you should probably aim for 80 of your own, and then 10 points coming from your family might give you some hope, but otherwise with this score, not an option at the moment.
Yeah, so next question we are having from Amrinder Reddy Sharma. He's asking us about like a registered nurse occupation. So for 189 skill independent visa, you can apply with 65 points, but as Tanvi discussed that for the non-pro occupations, immigration is currently inviting at 70. And if they keep continue inviting less applicants like this month, then if the points, the waiting time is around a month. But if they invite less applicants, it might increase to 2 months, 3 months. It depends how many applicants they will invite. While on a 190 state nomination, you can still apply for like Victoria state nomination or other states. So if you meet the Victoria state nomination requirement, like they require you to have a job offer if you're staying in another state. But if you have studied here in Victoria and if you're a recent graduate, you have a good opportunity with 65 points to get an invitation here in Victoria. So like we request you to visit one of our offices, like you might have other options for the regional sponsorship for the 489 as well. So you can explore all of that option.
Right. So the next question I'm taking is from Kumar Deepak. He wants to know what about the waiting period for networking with 80 points. 80 points, I should say, if you have 80 points and you've updated that in this month, then you should have already gotten an invitation. If not, then you probably should be expecting an invitation next month. I'm actually, I think he's talking about computer networks and systems engineer.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. So the 80 points, you probably should be getting an invitation by January if things go the same as they are.
Yeah, so next question is from Ayman Salak. I think he's asking us about like getting an permanent residency in Australia. So he's struggling to get his score, but like it depends, because nowadays as immigration require you to have 65 points, so it depends for which occupations you are struggling. He didn't mention specifically about that. So if it's like related to IT, accounting, or something like in the non-pro rata or like the pro rata, so it depends on that, and if you're meeting any state requirements or not, So we request you to visit one of our office, or you can specify a particular occupation so we can answer you appropriately next time.
Yeah, that's right. So the next question is actually for coursing.
Get the same.
Yeah. So they want to know what about hairdresser. I think hairdresser, as you would know, specifically when it comes to the occupation, a lot of 489 regions have already closed it, isn't it?
Yes, it was open like before 13 September, but they closed the like hairdresser in the 489 regional sponsorship. So now he needs to wait for the 489 regional, or he may apply like in Northern Territory or in
Tasmania. Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So next question is like from Somil. He's asking us about like studying the occupation pathway based on the telecommunication engineering. So telecom engineering is like in the non-pro rata occupation. So you can get an 189 scale independent visa quite easily compared to the pro rata occupation. So if you have 65, you can apply for the 189, but you need to try to reach to 70 so that you can get the invitation early. Or you may try to apply for the different state nomination as well, like based on Victoria or any other states if you're meeting the state nomination requirement.
Yeah. So the next question is from Preet Simran. So what about automotive with 65 points? So Preet, automotive, I'm assuming it's actually motor mechanic you're talking about. It's a non-pro rata occupation, currently sitting at 70. If you have 65, you should probably also explore the options for visa 489. Or else you should also look for the 190 options if you have experience as well. But with 65, you probably might have to wait a bit. At the moment, they are sitting at 70 with a wait of 1 month approximately.
Yeah, next question we are having from Menaka. So like he's asking us about like studying in electrical engineering in Perth, and he has 60 points. So yeah, you can apply for the Perth state nomination if electrical engineer occupation is available over there. But it depends that like what exact else requirements they require. Like they require a job offer letter after getting an invitation. So if they require, you must need to have a job offer letter in your field. And if you have studied here in Australia for at least 2 years, And if you have a job offer later here in Victoria, so you can apply for the Victoria State nomination as well as an engineering technologist instead of electrical engineer. So you have an option with 60 points, ready to explore it with one of our office in the Perth.
So Hamza wants to know that he's from Kenya and he's graduated with the degree of ICT. So he wants to know if he needs a sponsor to come to Australia. Not necessarily, Hamza. If it depends on exactly what occupation you would be falling under. Now, if you fall under one of the occupations that is there in the MLT SSL list or the STSOL list as well for that matter, and you have high enough point score, and you can manage to get a skill assessment, then you do not need a sponsor. You should be able to come through. But otherwise, if you do have somebody who is happy to sponsor you with your skills and your experience that you have, that could also be a pathway. But you should definitely get your profile assessed, checked before you approach that pathway. You can send us your resume and we'll be able to give you further advice on that. Thank you.
Yeah, so next question is from Amarjit Singh. Actually, he asked two questions. So first he said that like he has 70 points, and the next one he said that like he has an skill assessment in telecommunication engineer. So if you have a telecommunication engineer, if you have 70 points, then you should get the invitation in in a month, as it's in the non-priority occupation list, because the immigration invited around the mid of November, like for the 70 points applicants for telecommunication engineer, and they got the invitation today. So if you have applied last month or this month, you most likely get the invitation in the next round, which will be on 11th of January.
So that's next one is from Asim. Asim Marwaha wants to know what about mechanical engineering. Asim, as discussed earlier, mechanical engineering is sitting at 70, but the wait period is around 6 months. So I would say aim for 75, and then you should be able to get invitation next month probably.
Yeah, so Sujan Praz is asking us about like the invitation ceilings for this one, like for this round was less than the previous one. So we don't have an official result from immigration yet, but it seems that it's like lesser than the previous one, because not many applicants who are having higher points or even like comparative to last round having like the more points, they didn't get the invitation. So we need to wait for the immigration updates, like up to how many applicants they have invited. But roughly it seems that like they have invited around 800 to 1000 applicants in this round.
Yeah. Kim Singh wants to more. They want to know about 80 points for accounting. Kim, it depends on when you put in your EOI. 80 points still has a wait of around 3 months. So I'd say at the moment up to August has been sorted. Probably there's still a few pending in August as well. But then yes, around 3 months of wait you've got for accounting.
Yes, so next question we are having from Sasikumar. He's asking us about like he has an occupation as ICT security specialist and he has 65 points. So now if immigration has invited like around 2500 invitation in this like round, then they might have gone to 65 points, like that was even for the last year in October 2017, but they have invited the less applicants this round. So it's not sure that when they will reach to 65, maybe in like next few months if they invite more applicants, but it depends on the immigration strategies for the occupation ceilings and invitation in each round. But if you have 65, we request you to opt for other options like state nomination or the regional application, or try to increase your points, because never knows, if they never come to 65, then they will just wait with the 65. So it's better to increase your points in this case.
Correct, yes. Amarjit Singh wants to know.
I think you already answered that.
We've already answered telecommunication engineering for him, right? You have. Nitish Shah. Is there any chance of accounting getting invitation for 75 points from New South Wales, even if you wait for about 1.5 years? New South Wales is also more keen on inviting people with high points on merit basis, as we call it. So I would say probably try and improve your score to 80. I cannot give you any assurances that probably in 1.5 years you should be able to get an invitation for 190, if not 189. So you'll have to wait and see. Usually what happens around this time of the year, looks like the immigration is going to repeat its pattern from last year as well. December onwards they started inviting a lot less people, and that's why the point score increased. So as it is, if your point score is exactly what it is at the moment, then you should be aiming to get 5 points higher if you want to get invited.
Okay, so next question we are having from Amir Ali. He's asking us about like he has skill assessment as chemical engineer, and which is in non-Florida, that's fine. And he lodged his EOI in 21st November 2018 with 70 points for 189. So I think immigration has invited up to 16 November, as I said earlier. So you just missed by 5 days. So most likely you should get the invitation in the next round. Even if they invite few applicants, you have a chance of getting the invitation in the next round because you have less number of days gap. So you'll get the invitation most likely in the next round.
So Rajoj Maharjan, they want to know that I've applied for systems analyst on 24th of October with 75 points. When will I get any invitation? So with 75 points at the moment, they are sitting at about 3 months wait. You probably can get invited with 75 points, but like I said, there's a wait of around 3 months for your occupation.
Yeah, so next question we are having from Navdeep Singh, and he's asking us about like applying for PR from overseas. If someone has studied accounting overseas and have CA registration over there, so they can definitely apply for a 189 skill independent or any other general skill migration visa. But for that, they definitely need to meet the requirements of like 80 points or any state nomination requirement. So if they have enough points, they can apply same as an like Australian resident who is applying from Australia. So but the processing just will be done from overseas, that's it. So if you have 80 points, you can apply for the 189 skill independent visa.
Yeah. The next, Asim Marwaha. I think Asim Neerav's answered the question for mechanical engineering already. So Nabeen, I would like to answer your question. So you want to know, do we have the dates for iron courses for 2019 in Melbourne? See, at the moment there are a couple of institutes that are open, but for the whole iron program to be up and going since 2019, we still don't have any dates yet. We'll definitely update you as soon as we have the dates out.
Yes, so we have a question from Amit Ami. He's asking us about like having 70 points for analyst programmer, and he lodged his EY for 2 months for 189. So actually there are chances to get an invitation again, because immigration is currently inviting with 70 points for a software engineer and programmer from last couple of rounds, and they already clear up to I think around April. So you can get the invitation, but you might need to wait for 4 months around something. But let's say if again invitation reduce the points like they did it last year, then the points may increase to the 75 as well, in the future. So it depends how many points they will invite in the future for like total in every month.
I asked Ikram wants to know about telecommunication engineering for 189. I asked 189 telecommunication engineering 70 points at the moment with a wait of at least a month, probably a little higher if they keep giving out less invitations next round as well.
Yes, so next
most of the questions we've already answered.
Yeah, next question we are having from Atif. He's asking us about like studying bachelor in aviation management from Griffith University. So actually that's a unique course, but I think there is no occupation related to aviation management in the medium and long-term skill strategic list. But there might be some of the occupation available in the short-term skilled occupation list. So if you meet the requirement for the short-term skilled occupation list and any specific state or regional government, then you can apply for the 190 state nomination or the 489 region sponsorship. So we need to check your like details so that like we can guide you in like perfect way, like in which state it's available or in which regional area it's currently available to get a state nomination.
Alright, so I think Neerav, we should wrap it up this time. We've got a lot more questions coming in. We'll try and answer those questions in the comments. But what we'll do is we'll also come in live tomorrow. We'll actually have the time of the live session on our Facebook. So keep following us, and we'll be giving you a lot more information as we'll be getting more data during the end of the day, and then we'll be able to give you probably a more concrete the situation analysis by tomorrow. For now, thank you, and you enjoy your evening.
Thank you.